Consider this B part. Which is the B part? This graph, this rose color line, no? This graph which is parallel to the temperature. The graph which the carbon consumes oxygen and convert into carbon dioxide. This graph we are going to consider. B part, carbon consumes oxygen, convert into carbon dioxide. Here carbon is solid, oxygen gaseous molecule, carbon dioxide also gaseous molecule. Here you have to calculate the delta Ng, Np minus Nr, that is number of moles of product here 1 and number of moles of oxygen 1 is equal to 1 minus 1, 0. It means delta S is equal to 0. Here delta S is equal to entropy 0 means the delta G naught, the total term becomes 0. So delta G naught F is equal to 0. It means there is no change in the number of moles even you increase the temperature. So this type of graph we get. So even you increase the temperature, there is no change in the value, constant value we get. It means the reaction is at equilibrium. That's why we get the delta G is equal to 0. And consider the C part. Consider the C part. The graph, which is C part graph? This one. Carbon monoxide consumes oxygen and convert into carbon dioxide. Let us consider this. Carbon monoxide, it's a gaseous molecule, and oxygen also gaseous molecule. The product is carbon dioxide. See, in this C part, all the three are gaseous molecule. So you have to consider all the three for calculating the delta Ng. That is number of moles of product 1 minus number of moles of reactant. Both are gaseous molecules. So 1 plus half equal to minus half. Here the number of moles decreases, minus half. Reactant, from the reactant, the number of moles decreases in the product. So number of moles decreases, randomness also decreases. If randomness decreases, entropy also decreases. Entropy decreases means, see, listen, apply the equation. Delta G naught F is equal to delta H naught minus T delta S. Temperature increased, so positive value. Entropy decreases, so it is negative value. So positive into negative minus, isn't it? So minus into minus, total TDS term become positive. Total TDS term become positive. That is delta G naught F is equal to positive. It means the oxide is less stable at higher temperature. So carbon monoxide is less stable because positive value. Above the equilibrium, it is less stable. Below the equilibrium, the reducing agent is stable. That's why the reaction is non-spontaneous. At higher temperature, decomposition becomes easier. Less stable means decomposition becomes easier. At very moderate temperature, it can easily reduced. So among the three, carbon, carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, carbon is the best reducing agent. Next, we see the applications of the Elingham diagram. Elingham diagram helps to select the suitable reducing agent and appropriate temperature range for the reduction. Which reducing agent we have to choose, that also it explained, and at which temperature the reduction will be carried, whether above the equilibrium or below the equilibrium, that we can easily choose. So, and the feasibility of the reaction of metal oxides into formed products. These three things are explained by the Elingham diagram. This can be understood by following graphs. In your textbook, this Elingham diagram is given. See, the temperature in the x-axis and the delta G naught is the standard Gibbs free energy change in the y-axis. See, listen, lot of metal oxides are given. This middle line, this line which is parallel to the temperature is the equilibrium line. That is, in this temperature at minus 400, the reaction is equilibrium. Delta G is equal to 0. And above the equilibrium, all these metal oxide has the positive value. Below the equilibrium, all these metal oxides has the negative value. So listen, this Elingham diagram shows which one reduce which one? Remember one thing, the lower located elements, the lower located metal oxides are the more stable than the above located. So, first consider the first two graphs. First two graphs at the bottom, that is calcium oxide and magnesium oxide. See, calcium oxide graph has the more negative value than the magnesium oxide. It shows that, already I told you, the reducing agent must be possess the highest negative value. So, the lower located element can reduce the upper located element. Here consider this two. Which one reduce which one? One metal can reduce the above located metal. So, here calcium oxide reduce the magnesium oxide. And now consider magnesium oxide and aluminium oxide. So, aluminium is located above the magnesium oxide. So, it is less stable. So, here magnesium oxide is more stable than the aluminium. So, magnesium can reduce the aluminum up to this temperature. See, so many dots are given in your graphs, isn't it? These dots shows that the phase transition. Up to this dot, it is a solid form. Above this dot, it is liquid form. After this dot, it transfers into a gaseous state. Same as for all the metals. Each dot represents phase transfer. Up to this, it is solid. Here it is liquid, and above this dot it is a gaseous form. So that also you should denote. And now tell me one thing. Consider aluminium trioxide and the chromium. Which one reduce which one? Aluminium trioxide has the more negative value than the chromium oxide. So aluminium can reduce the chromium oxide. And listen, these are the graphs which are easily explained by Elegam by reducing one metal by another one. Consider this graph. This graph I have chosen from the Elegam diagram. This Elegam diagram one is Ag2O graph, another one is HgO graph, and another one is zinc oxide graph. So for these metal oxide, listen, these metal oxide which is easily reduced and which need the reducing agent, that we have to see in this graph. See, listen, Ag2O and mercuric oxide, HgO. First you have to listen the temperature. Already I told the lowest temperature or the moderate temperature, these two, silver oxide and mercuric oxide, located in the top of the Elegam diagram in your textbook. So it means it has highest positive value. So it is less stable. Easily it can reduce even at moderate temperature. So in the absence of reducing agent, silver oxide and mercuric oxide easily reduced. So low temperature is required for T1 and T2. I denoted. Look here students, I have denoted T1 and T2 for Ag2O and HgO because these two reduce easily at lower temperature. But zinc oxide is not like that because zinc oxide needs lot of temperature. It reduces at higher temperature. So it is more expensive. So in order to reduce the cost, we can choose the best reducing agent. Which reducing agent you can choose? In your Elegam diagram, carbon line cut most of the elements. So you can choose carbon to reduce it. Carbon is the best reducing agent, already we have learnt. So here look at the equation, zinc oxide plus carbon, zinc plus carbon monoxide. Here the metal is eliminated and carbon monoxide as a gaseous form. So carbon is the best reducing agent to convert the zinc oxide into zinc. Look here students, here in a Elegam diagram, silver oxide and mercuric oxide located in the top of the Elegam diagram, isn't it? It is delta G value is positive value. So no need of any reducing agent, it can be easily reduced. And listen, one carbon line, this line cut most of the metals below the delta G naught, isn't it? Below the delta G equilibrium point, or it cutting all the metals. It shows that this carbon can be chosen for all these metal reduction. Of course, one metal can reduce the above located metal, that is also true, and here you can use carbon also. So only it shows like this. This red line indicate that carbon can cut all the below oxides.